Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Ascension Messages, my weekly lives. My name is Bobbie, and I will be your guide for today. Today, we're going to do some channel messages and tarot, and this is all directed towards those that feel they are ready for this next step. Yeah, it's a big one. So what I did last night was I asked, "Hey, all is one in sky." What I did last night before I went to bed is I asked for any messages to come through for you guys. And I honestly haven't been remembering too many of my dreams lately, but this morning I remembered one. So I'm going to explain this dream. Obviously, it's for me as well because I had it, but I do feel, because I asked that question before I went to sleep and I remembered the dream, that it's something relevant for you guys too. So this is a message for there's a big next step that's coming. I'm going to tell you the story of this dream, but just before that, just to let you know, I have a school called Amicor if you want to go join that. It's got lots of telepathic games and some lessons there. It's only a few dollars a month. It's through Patreon. The link is down below. I'm also an intuitive counselor and guidance and reader. So if you want a one-on-one reading with me, I've still got my prices lowered at the moment, and I might even keep them lowered to the end of this year. I'm literally just feeling into this, whether I'm going to stay lowered or whether I'm not, and just taking it as it goes. Yeah, so that's happening. And straight after this, I have on my new YouTube, which is Coast to a New Reality, a brand new little video. It's about 6 minutes long. It's profound. It has really cool messages in it, and it's all about what the codes that was hidden from us about the night sky and the signs of the night sky and how we perceive the night sky and that sort of thing, and these messages coming through the night sky. So if you want to go take a look at that, just might give you a little bit more insight into how you are going to shift your perception about these messages and signs coming towards us. Okay, so that's happening straight after this, if you want to go take a look. Okay, let's get into this. I'll start off with a dream. I do have one oracle cards in my hand, so I'm going to be pulling some of these. But I'm going to go through this dream first. So, hey Candace, hey Tonyan. How it started was I was Uber driving, which I do, and I was going to pick up an order at a very beautiful open shopping mall, and it was for KFC. Doesn't matter. It's just to do with nutrients and stuff like that, like picking up nutrients. I'm going to go through the dream and then I'll talk about it in a minute. So the order wasn't coming. It just wasn't turning up. And then all of a sudden, after quite some time, there's lots of people around me and that, but I look at my phone and I realize I have the complete wrong phone. Somebody else's phone. I don't know this phone. I don't know the people in it. Don't know the program. How we're all unique to our own phone. I don't know anything, and I didn't know how to navigate the phone. So I actually had to ask for help, and then someone came to me and helped me to navigate it, to be able to, and they pressed the buttons to be able to contact this person. When I contacted them, a little girl answered the phone, and then I could hear the mum in the background that the phone belonged to, and I was wondering if she even got my message. I was trying to figure out whether she was coming or not. All of a sudden I realized, yes, she was on her way to the shopping mall, and then she arrived and we exchanged phones, but then I realized she was in desperate need of help, and because she had an energy around her and she didn't believe in psychic stuff. So she was going to go away and think about this, but I said to her that I could help her get rid of this negative energy. So, and then the dream stopped. So I'm really feeling into this as this whole game being played out within humanity's consciousness, and the fact that we are coming to the end of our story. But during the story, we were looking for nutrients, probably in the wrong place, being that it's KFC, right? And then it's taking absolutely forever. The order is not coming. We are not feeling nurtured in the reality that we're in. Then I look at my phone, realize that I am playing somebody else's game. I have somebody else's program. I have an outside, looking outside of myself. I'm relying on this little device to give me my work and everything, and I cannot. And then I realized it belonged to somebody else. It wasn't my story. So I had to go find help externally. And then as I'm looking for help, I end up getting the communication to this person. But this person, I felt like, are they even listening to me? So I'm literally seeing myself, I suppose, in humanity's consciousness, we are pulled our soul into a place where it feels very uncomfortable. And we are now realizing that we can't keep going on with the wrong program. So we're asking to return that program to the person that owns it and receive back the program that we want, which I did get. But then I realized that person has this negative energy attached to them because they have been so out of balance. So I think humanity, those that are awakening, are now realizing we can't live in that program. We cannot live in that program anymore. We need to step outside. We need to readjust and align to what feels right for our soul, and bring and ask for that program. Because I know how to work with my feminine side very well. I know how to shift my energy, but then I keep getting sucked into the logical mainstream program of, but I have to, and I have to, and I have to follow that. And it always felt wrong. But then when I step out, if I hadn't have had that interaction with that person's phone, and lost myself, I wouldn't have realized that when they come back into my life, because we exchanged the phone numbers, that they were so lost that they literally have a negative energy attached to them. And I know how to get them out because I have a whole other program that I'm working with. So I feel with this reading, it's to do with we're ready to take this next step of taking responsibility for ourselves, shifting or aligning our story to the story that feels right for your soul, for my soul, for whoever's soul is watching this. And that's however it feels good for us. We're no longer attaching ourselves to something that feels like foreign. And now because of that, we're realizing that those that we were working in, and the program that we're working in, is going to need a lot of help. And we have the key to be able to help them. So yeah, there's that's coming up, but also the fact that we are now realizing that we did have the wrong program, and that we are now aligning ourselves with a better one. That I felt once I got that phone back, my phone back, is like a release. It's like a, yes, now I'm happy. I can keep working. I can keep doing what I need to do. So you're going to also feel like there's this feeling of, yay, things are going to start coming my way. Things are going to start working better for me now that I know who I am, and stepping into that. So feeling that as well. We're going to pull some cards as well on this subject, but it's been quite a journey. I mean, even if I take it from another perspective of starseeds, people that are awakening and recognizing they've been attached to somebody else's program, I feel like those people never really felt they could handle what they came into, and to bring our energy back to ourselves is going, it's going to change up everything. We're going to realize, that's what I'm trying to get. We're going to realize that we came here for a definite purpose. We wanted to, it's almost like we got lost in somebody else's program, but it's like we wanted to do that in a way, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to have the exchange. It kind of made a piercing or a crack in the matrix for us to be able to communicate. If we just came straight from a higher benevolent place, or straight from, Lemuria or whatever, boom, into now, and not gone through some sort of integration into the discombobulated feelings that you had when you weren't following your soul, you wouldn't have had that kind of crack to be able to exchange, get into their number, and then have them come to you and see that they actually needed help, and that you could say to them that you could help them. So there's something in you now stepping forward with the help that you have learned of who you are, because you've come back to your original program. You're like, I can now see why I lost myself, but I can also see why when I come back to my original program, that I had always had the key to be able to help these other people that were lost in their reality. And they literally feel, because it was hit their phone, they literally feel that's the only way. Their phone is the only way. Their program is the only way. And you're going, you're saying no, because of the unbalancedness that you had. You literally have pulled in these negative stories, these negative, it was seen as a negative entity, but if I take it as a whole, it's like you're just living in a very unbalanced way. And we have the key now to be able to help awaken you guys. So it's like this reading is about those that are ready and understanding that they are here to help awaken many in the end. And because we know how to uplift our energy, so that we're the observer of the fear game and we're not part of it anymore. Okay, I'll just keep shuffling anyway. After this, I will open the chat bar for free readings for those that are in the chat bar, by the way, like I do every week. Hey, Paula. Hey, Liz. Hey, Debbie. Good to see you. Okay, so we have a couple that's fallen out. Okay, we have more than a couple. We have 4. And I split them without looking. They're all face down. So we have connections, and that came out with peaceful pursuits and happy times. I'm not going to use these ones. Some of these came out upside down, but I'm not going to read these in a reverse. I don't believe they're supposed to be read in reverse, this pack. So 29 connections, which is an 11, partnerships, contract, commitment, and they're bringing me to the part of the dream where I went out and sought for help to be able to program, be able to get in touch with these people. So there might be somebody else that you have to seek, that you are coming together with, and maybe a business person or a partnership or something that is going to help you in the work that you're doing, that you're both on the same place. They have the ability to be able to seek the number in the phone, but I had the understanding that it was all wrong and I needed to seek for that help. So there's maybe some connections here that you are going to pull in that are going to be a lot more helpful for you. Now, I'm also feeling, and from my own point of view, just taking my own story into account here, because I'm at this stage, there's this void that's happened where I have now just readjusted myself to realizing who I am, what I desire in my reality, the connections I desire in my reality. And if I feel any sort of connection a little bit skew, I'm just going no to it now. And I'm feeling really strong in that. I found my boundaries. So because I'm a giver and I constantly want to give to help, I've had to set really strong, firm boundaries. And that has helped me become more in tune with my authentic self. So there's that as well. relaxation. So yeah, this is the pause that I'm feeling, the card of relaxation. Like I'm literally sitting in this hammock at the moment. I'm enjoying my life. There's no stress here. I don't have any stress at the moment. I've created this kind of a vortex in myself where there's no stress. So you might be at a place, or just before you start to realize that you're ready to approach this new game, from the value of your knowing yourself fully, your soul alignment and everything, that you just take a little bit of a pause and a relaxing time before. Then the other two cards that came out was letting go of urgency. So this is that program that I'm feeling into, the program of that was with the wrong phone. There was an urgency there. Oh my God, I have to get this order. How can I get this order if I don't even have the phone? Honestly, by the end of the dream, I didn't even get the order. Like the order just dissolved. It didn't even matter to me anymore, even though it was something that I was doing for somebody else, which I'm constantly trying to do things for other people. But it wasn't in alignment with the real program, the real reason why I was here. Like me helping people bits and pieces everywhere and draining my energy is not helping me become in alignment to my full self, so that I can really do the real program, which is shifting the negative energies and aligning people with their true authentic self again. Yeah, and I know how to do that. So that came out with the healing heart, love, acceptance, and romance. So yeah, we've got this romance card coming up, and I really do feel that's that whole connection thing with soul tribes coming together, understanding each other. We, from that big golden heart, we kind of like, I know that you are here for a purpose for me, and our journeys are intermingled now. We are on the same track, intermingling our hearts. We're understanding that we were always meant to be. Our souls had already planned this out before we were born, that you were gonna gather that information, and I would gather this information. And then when we come into trusting ourselves and having strong, firm boundaries into who we're allowing in, we're now holding our energy on us by ourselves. We have the reins and direction to where we want to go. When we do that and we find happiness in this world for ourselves, that's when the connection can happen, because our happiness finds our other happiness, the soul that we were meant to come in alignment with, whether it's soul team, soul tribes, I don't care, a community, a one individual person or whatever. It's all up to how you're presenting yourself. And then you come together. So, but there's letting go of that urgency of having to be a specific way. Like this person is literally running out the door, and look at the computer with all the stickers and everything on it. Like they're just obviously bombarded by that other program. And I was sitting there looking at that phone last night, scrolling through a couple of things, and I'm going, I don't know any of this. I don't know what to do with this. And yet I feel an urgency to stay here for this next order. But even though I wasn't even going to get the order through this phone, because the order would have come through my phone, which was accidentally swapped out. So here we are waiting for an order, something to come in that's never going to come in, because we're literally not in sync with our soul. We're not understanding that we need to let go completely for us to move on into this next phase. Yeah, okay, I'm getting the Osho, grabbing the Osho cards. So the next phase is going to be very unique to you, obviously, but there is a sort of a understanding of, if you go out enough or observe far enough out, you can see the whole of it, as in there's a frequency alignment that most people will go through, where, okay, I've done the work, I've done the shadow work, I see myself, I've now faced the fears. So if another fear comes up, I know I can face it easily again. I can get myself out of that story pretty quickly now. I know I have a lot more stability within myself because I can do that. And then feeling like you're going in and out of the old program and trusting your soul, and how much do you trust of your soul? How much do you stay in the old program? And how is this going to balance out? Can I have both? Hold on to both? No, I can't. I'm going to have to follow my true essence of my soul. So then recreating your life and having tower moments, things falling away from you, people falling away from you, all of this, and then feeling a little bit vulnerable being on your own, or a feeling like you're alone in the world, even if you are with a person or a partner that is doing their work as well, because they go away and do their work. Because even if you were with the right person right from the beginning, there would be a feeling of them having to do the work the way that they want to do it, and you doing it your way, and not really coming together. But it's when you start to really adjust that you are here in a physical form, you are here in this world, and you only want to bring love into this world, that you start seeing them for the love that they are. Or if you weren't, you would probably be alone completely, and then waiting for that person to roll in that's going to help. And now we're at the stage of knowing thyself, and just waiting for that to come through. But there's some of us are a little bit ahead, and some of us a little bit behind. It's not because you're any less or better. It's just because we can't all go together completely, because they show me an hourglass and that little funnel in the middle, which I'd see as source energy, just a spark of God. If we all went together, it would be a tight fit. We'd block it. So we need to have drips and drabs coming through that kind of hourglass point, so that we can allow everyone to just follow. There's like a following here that you're going to gain momentum of having a following, whether that be a following as in an energetic following, or an actual following like you've got a business that's online or whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Some people are more of a following of wherever I walk on this plane of existence, I shift energies around me, and so you have an energetic following. They're showing me walking down the street, and just love coming off the back of me, and so whoever enters that space shifts or alters their perception of life, because that love is the light is too much for their negative space. So that can happen too. Let's carry on and see what else we've got there. I am so not surprised to see this card right in this, because by the end of the dream, we did exchange it didn't stop halfway. I did actually meet the person. We exchanged. I got my phone back. So I got my own self into alignment, and they got themselves back. But I realized that they needed help, and I could help them. Now, it was still up to them. They actually, in the dream, they were still deciding. And literally, I can't remember giving them a card, but I knew that they could contact me if they really, really needed to. And it was just this freedom of feeling, well, I'm just happy that I feel really at peace with myself. But I'm here. I've got my hand outstretched if you need my help, kind of thing. Okay. Hey, Angel Laurie. Good to see you. Okay. Well, we have a few that's fallen out altogether here. See, the Creator, Trust in reverse. I have another deck here, and I'm going to take that in reverse. And an Understanding card. So this Understanding card is the fact that we were always the key. We had the key within us to unlock the so-called prison. Because when we realize that we can shift our frequency, which shifts the story, we have no story can hold us, no law, no rules, no nothing can hold us anymore. Because we go into ourselves and we say, I don't like that story, and I am not going to focus in on it anymore. I'm going to do what I need to do in this moment to let it go. Now, if you post anything on Facebook of the negative story, make sure you do it without holding on to anything. Like anything that I post, I have no attachment to it. Even though I know it's a negative story or something like that, it's not about negative or positive. It's about how I feel, so I can still send a message out to the world, because there's certain procedures that the soul goes through of, if they're in denial, they need it in their face to get out of the denial. And then once they're out of denial, then we're like, okay, now you realize that we want to show you that you have the ability to shift the story. So if you're in denial all the time, you can't shift the story, because you're denying that the story even exists. They're reminding me of a person that that said to me this is many years ago, like, oh gosh, 2012, they're like, I don't like you. You don't exist to me. And then we ended up in a group scenario together. We went to the same seminar, and in the seminar, they asked everybody to walk in a circle opposite each other and look at each other's eyes and I noticed, because I didn't say that to her, she said that to me, but I noticed she was seeking me. She was looking out for me as I was coming into alignment with her, so that she didn't look at me. So she was in denial of my existence, but she had to put all her energy into seeing when I was coming up. So in other words, I was more in her existence. Denial doesn't work. I was more in her existence because it took longer. Like if she just lived in the moment, was in the moment with all the other people before me, then what would happen when we came eye to eye. It would be a true experience. But her denial was, I'm not going to look at her when I go past, but I have to seek her to see that I'm not going to look at her. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So this is a feeling of that, as well as the understanding that the key was always within you to open the doorway to be able to get yourself out through understanding that you can shift the story. Yeah, and then, I kind of sidetracked there, but I think I needed to say that because people are out there that are needing help specific. Like we know that in the end, everybody needs to be focused on the story of creation in the end, what they want to create. But if they're in denial of the story, you have to bring the story up for them to see that they are focused in on that story without even knowing it. Like, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see this, but I'm still in it. I'm still in the society of it. And it's affecting you because you are going with the flow like a whole bunch of sheep going towards a cliff, and you don't even know it because you're in the middle trying to deny that the cliff even exists. So then I would post something to say, see, there is a problem. Now here is another post to say, this is how you shift it. Now we're going to focus on what we want to go. Yeah. So, but always, whatever you post, make sure it's not with the negative energy of that's the absolute, or I hate it, or a fear. If you do not go there. I don't post anything that affects me emotionally. I've already worked through the emotions of it. I just want to put that out. Okay. Because I think I need to say that because we're up to this stage where we're going to help others, but we have to come from an observer point of view to be able to help those others. Then I have trust and creator to begin with. So trusting in ourselves as the creator of our reality and how we navigate this world. The majority of the time, not every single true moment is going to be on a positive side of ourselves. There are slight moments, but I don't stay there very long. Like if I have a negative thought, I really don't stay there very long. It's like, compared to in the past, it was a long time that I would stay there for days, for even years. And now if something comes towards me and I'm like, I'm not really in with this, I can literally blank my mind. I can literally just stay in a void, and myself, and be completely present with what's happening in the moment. They're also showing me, be aware as you go along in this journey that if you're too much in your ethereal world, you will start to see things go a little bit wrong in your physical world. So then you have to come into alignment of, I'm also in my physical world, because this is where I'm at. I'm in a body and I need to bring more love into this world. So if you're like, say for instance, you wake up and you're in your ethereal world, you're feeling pretty comfortable, you're feeling happy, you're in imagination, la 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 la, and all of a sudden you trip over, then hello, you're not really here in this world. So just be aware of that. That gives you a good sign to know that you're too much in your ethereal world. Where the other side of the coin would be if you're too much in the physical world and not enough in your soul alignment or ethereal world, and listening to your intuition, then you will feel stress. You'll feel like discombobulated. You'll feel really, oh my God, the world is against me. Everything's going towards me. It's just stressful, and you're in your head too much. So just be aware of that. Both can exchange, but that's one thing I have noticed within myself might help you navigate, because it's to do with coming into a balanced self. Knowing that you're in a body, you're physical, you're standing, you're in this grounded world, but you're also taking on the feelings that you have and your intuition, like trusting that as well. If we want to project a beautiful story and imagine it, that's all great. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to imagine something first before we move towards it, but we have to see it for the value of what it is. That's why they're showing me it's probably best to really fully imagine those places when you are safe, when you are, because, when you're just before you're going to bed, when you're just waking up, that sort of thing, when you're meditating, when you're sitting on the couch, not doing a lot, you can go into la la land. Because I have done this a few times where I'm driving, and then I've gone into this la la land and it feels really good. And then the next minute I am not present enough and somebody cuts me off because I've not seen that car properly. And I'm like, no, I've never crashed or anything, but I'm like, wake up. You're also here. You can't do that real daydreamy stuff while you're driving around in a car if you're not present enough in the moment with other cars that have been past you. Just be aware of that too. Okay, as we go along here, let's see what else comes up. Picked up the animal cards. So for those that are moving into this, now they're bringing me into an alignment of communication coming from other beings. We're having a lot of things happening in the sky at the moment. We're starting to shift our understanding or perspective of our outer world mirroring our inner world, and how that actually is seen in the